Olivia. Thank you for coming on Pally Talks.
Thank you. Very excited.
Me too. I've seen your Instagram videos and I laugh every time you do one 'cause you're so good on. I was like, gotta get her on.
Well, it's just a bit silly. I just think I just want to have a bit fun with
Yeah.
it. Like how there's it's quite a saturated market what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, how can I different? Okay, I just got to put my face in front of everyone
Yeah,
and use that drama degree that I never knew I needed.
exactly. So just starting with, first of all, can you explain your business in one sentence?
Yes. So at the core, we are a nanny agency, so matchmaking nannies to mums. But where we differ is that my target is working mums. And so I'm kind of matchmaking the hustler mum to the hustler nanny, where it's part time, it's nanny shares, it's ad hoc, it's emergencies, it's holidays, rather than the kind of full time salaried. We do get some of that, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of matchmaking those sorts of people, mentor, mentee vibe. That wasn't one sentence, was it? But you get the vibe.
And actually, I didn't realise that. So that's quite a niche to be part of that bit of the market.
Um, no, I think a lot of working mums need childcare, and I think the word nanny is quite scary, and you think it's just for the mega rich and the super posh. But um, I've got loads of people that aren't posh. No, joking. I think it's that we just need support with childcare, and if that's 3 hours so you can go to a meeting or do the school run or do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
a mix in a bit of housekeeping and a bit of support, and that's a big part, and that's really really popular. So, but we do obviously have full time nannies, which
Yeah.
is the easiest thing to find. But yeah.
Secondly, what moment made you realise you had to start it?
So I was working in recruitment full time, and I would finish at 3, go do the school run for a family, go put their dinner on, come home, finish recruitment. And I was always mixing that love of childcare and recruitment. But I was recruiting for social media people, marketing and producers and all that sort of stuff. And then my mate was like, can you find me a nanny? And I've been a nanny for 12 years alongside doing recruitment for 6 years. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I not recruiting for what I know and love?
Yeah.
So I quit my job and here I am. And it
Yeah.
worked. It's crazy. People were like, yeah, I do actually need a nanny and some childcare and some support. Like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, wicked. Well, let me help you with your LinkedIn and with your CV, and how can I help you get back into the workplace? And so it really spiraled. And
Business.
so officially a year, but I was full-time nannying and I sort of finished in February. So kind of full-time daycare from February this year. So not masses, but yeah.
Oh, so it's still so new.
Just a baby.
Yeah. Are you still finding your feet, or have do you know what you're doing now? Are you like fully focused? Have you
Yeah, I
left
mean,
the job and
well, I've just hired a freelance recruiter to help me recruit because I couldn't keep up with the interviews quick enough. So the jobs were coming in, and I was like, oh my God, I need to be interviewing more and more nannies. Obviously, I know loads from being a nanny for so long, but like, because now I'm covering so many areas of London and
yeah.
Surrey and Hampshire, and it's really escalating. I kind of needed to keep up with that, as well as, the marketing hat and the finance hat and the sales and going to events and networking and all this other really important part of the business that no one really tells you about. I needed actually just to be sitting in front of people interviewing them. So I've just got someone on board, which is really cool. And she's been a nanny for 12, 13 years. She's a mum of a 1-year old. I used to go to school with her. So it's like so fun.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. I
Oh,
suppose not, even though you say there's all those other parts of the business to work on, a lot of what you do will probably be referrals and word of mouth because you'll help one mum and they'll tell their
I
friends.
mean, we are only recommendations,
Yeah.
and I think it would be impossible for us to really be at the top of Google when we have
Yeah.
the likes of like the big dogs that have been running for 20 years. But that's okay. I'd much rather have referrals because my nannies come through referrals. So
100%.
like we're all one step removed. We all know each other. I don't want to be hiring a nanny for someone that I wouldn't want to work for, or someone scary. And you know what I mean? So it's kind of finding like everyone is one step removed. We all sort of know each other. It's all recommendations, and it's, recommendations just are absolutely is how
Mm.
we keep the lights on. And I take recommendations for everything as well, whether it's a mascara or a
Mm.
hairdresser. So like, I totally can see the value in it, and that's why we do referral fees. And
Mm.
it's really important to us to keep going that way. Yeah.
More and more companies that I'm speaking to, and I don't know whether it's because of economy as it is now, or whatever it is, or it's just like the marketing cycle's doing a cycle. But loads of people are saying most of their business is from referrals now, and they don't actually get much from the Google SEO, the Google listings,
Mm,
or what have you, and it's all with just word of mouth. And if you can crack into that and people are talking about you, then that's brilliant because it's also
yeah. And scary too, because
mm.
we can't F it up, right?
Yeah, yeah,
These girls are talking. So it's a lot of pressure in that way. It's like, right, you've got to be really nice.
yeah. That is
Yeah,
true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they might be singing your praises or they might be slagging you off.
right. And you never know.
No.
So, and that's why it's like, it's funny with socials, isn't it? But like, you just have to lean into the cringe, and somebody will like you,
Yeah.
hopefully. And if they don't, then they're not your customer. So, yeah.
Yeah, I do. So because obviously I'm having to do a bit of it too, and I it just doesn't sit naturally with me at all. So it's really quite forced. But when you've done a video and you put it out, and then you see someone else's sort of authentic video, you're like, okay, it can actually work because I've sort of understand your personality more from seeing you on Instagram, and we've never really met. And had you just uploaded pictures, for example, I wouldn't have known what you were like. And it's a really good way of showing like the your character, your humor, your and how like seriously you take yourself, and that part of it so easy on just like a couple of videos.
Yeah, 100%. And don't, I mean, it is annoying. I wish I could just upload cute pics.
Yeah.
But because they just don't slap anymore, you've got to be like, but it's also being authentic because they're like, hi, I run a nanny agency. Like that also doesn't hit. But if
Yeah.
you're like, here is why I hate myself today, then people are like, oh, love it. Yes. Like
Yeah.
it's like you have to talk like a mate rather than like you're on stage. So it's kind of also figuring that out.
Yeah.
And it is hard to be authentic because it's not normal to talk to your phone.
No, I know. And actually, being a founder, because I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, being a founder in the early stages is so boring for people to see. You're sat at home, you look rubbish,
Yeah.
you're sat at your computer, and you don't really move. Like, okay, you might walk the dog. And I was like, so how am I meant to
Film
show
this.
this?
Yeah.
Most people, and people are like, well, people actually want to see the sort of the rubbish, the bits that we think are rubbish, but actually quite interesting to people. So what I just remembered when you were speaking, you went out and did flyering in the rain in your hoodie, and that
Yeah.
was the first video I saw of you on Instagram, and it was so good because I was like, that's it's like something that you would have done without even thinking about recording it, but because you did, yeah, I was like,
And
no,
I think you're right. I think it's like because so much of the day is spent at home crying into a laptop, and people don't always want to see that, even though that is actually quite relatable.
yeah,
I was like, right, I'm going to film it because, firstly, it's the only interesting thing I'm doing this week.
yeah,
And I know that every time I have done it and don't film it, the reaction is always so nice from different cafes and
yeah,
I was about to say clubs, not going to a nightclub, handing out cafes and like yoga studios or whatever it is, wherever I think a mum might be, right?
mm,
Which actually is a nightclub. They are just so sweet. So I was like, I've got to film this and actually encourage other people to be a bit more old school with their marketing.
yeah.
Because I love waiting for a coffee and staring at the beautiful flyers and how people have designed it themselves. So yeah, whether it works or not, I don't even care because the video did
Yeah.
enough, you know.
Yeah, and also it takes for one person to pick up a flyer, and
Right.
you might have handed out 2,000 for one mum. That's then one mum will then tell her friends. You just never know. It's just worth doing, isn't it?
100%. And actually going into one of those play cafes, and the lady that runs it was like, people keep trying to steal my staff, so we keep giving them your flyer instead. And they like, apparently within the day, they'd gotten rid of all the flyers that I'd given them. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. None of them have called me yet, but I'm sure they will one day. But I think people need to see your name like five
Yeah,
times or something before they buy from you, right? So if it means me coming up on Instagram, you've seen my flyer.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's more now. Someone at a networking thing told me because of like digital access and how we use things so much now online, it's now like 40 times. I know. I know. For them to remember you. I'll have to Google it after this, but I remember she was like, it used to, anyway, there's end this podcast, but I'll find
Well, no, I had this with LinkedIn when I was doing sales stuff. I'd like, you have to connect, then you have to email them, message them, then you have to like their content, they have to comment on their content, and then you have to view their profile again, and then they've seen you 6 times. So that when you go in for the sales, they're like, shit, there she is again.
Oh my God, I haven't ever thought about that on one channel.
Professional stalking.
Yeah,
No, yeah. One channel 6 times, right? It's really, really.
professional stalking. That's where I'm dropping the ball. You do way more of that.
Also, I love it because like I'm really nosy. And so I'd love to know where you went to uni and what you studied and what you did. Like, yeah, okay. And
Yeah.
then I'm emailing them going, oh my God, we went to the same uni. How funny. You just did it 10 years ago. I just did it. Do you know what I mean? There's always like a weird connection, right, with people.
Yeah,
And I think when we were saying about recommendation, I do think that people buy from people that they like. And
yeah.
if there's something slightly in common, I mean, it happens in like when we think about politics, right? They're all hiring their mates and they're influenced by people that they like. Anyway, this is
Mm,
a really weird tangent, but I think with LinkedIn, if there's something that they've got in common, even
yeah.
slightly, like going to the same uni or they're friends with someone that's friends with someone, people are like,
Mm,
we're also besties now, right?
yeah.
That's what I think anyway.
With LinkedIn, you now have mutual connections. So I've had a couple of requests saying we've got loads of mutual connections. Let's connect. So I like that because you remember on Facebook, we used to be like, how many mutuals have you got? And
Yeah, yeah,
now you
yeah.
can do it in a professional way, and it's brilliant. But
Same
anyway,
vibe. And
question
you're like,
three.
how do you know the CEO of somewhere? And I'm like, I don't, because I've just added everyone I know on LinkedIn that looks fun.
I just professionally stalk him. Right, question three. What's
Oh,
been
sorry.
your toughest moment so far?
I think at the beginning, it's less so now that I've got Becky on board, but it was just really lonely, like really lonely. And I didn't have anyone that I could gossip about it with or, moan about it with. My friends and my partner would be like, yeah, okay, I don't care about this like random issue that you're having do you know what I mean? So I think the
Mm,
loneliness was big and I definitely feel it less now
mm,
because I can call Becky and she's like, oh yeah, that mum was difficult, or you can kind of talk about it and
mm,
they get it a bit better. But yeah, no, I do miss colleagues, and that loneliness is quite a big part. That's the
mm.
toughest part so far.
Would you, slight tangent, would you go to a co-working space or do you find cafes good or do you even go and
I
work
do.
with
So I
people?
do that a lot. I work from Soho House, which sounds really wanky, but the vibe's quite fun.
Yeah.
And then I can go to the gym and I can, you walk in and you've immediately spent 20 quid. That's fun. But the vibe is quite nice. I try and talk to people, but people also just want to work. And
Yeah.
also when you say recruitment, they're a bit like, so that feels less cool. And then you're like, oh no, but it's for babies. They're like, So it's just trying to find people that get it.
So
Yeah.
I have this weird thing about Soho House because I've never been a member, but when I go there, I instantly want to work really hard because everyone's sitting there looking super expensive, super well put together.
Cool.
They're all
Yeah.
really busy, and it suddenly makes you go, well, shit, I've got to be busy too. And
Yeah.
only had one meeting there and sat and worked on my laptop another time. And it does just give you that like oomph to succeed and get stuff done. With I do find sometimes at home, like midday, I'm going like do 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 do.
Yeah. 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 Oh, there's another wash on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Should hang the laundry.
What can I do that isn't actually the work that needs to be done for sure?
Yeah.
So I do like it, and I know what you mean, like the vibe, and also like
Mm,
there's loads of cool mums with their cool babies. I'm like, oh, do you want a business card? So it's also like being a bit brave,
mm,
and in summer it's really good because you've got everyone. Now this sounds really wanky, but everyone sat around the pool really close to each other, basically half naked in your bikini, right?
yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, on the rosé, like enjoying the sun, and then all of a sudden you're talking about what you do.
Yeah.
I have genuinely met some incredible people by this pool, right? Mums that have now become like not business partners, but like we've partnered in some way, or they've recommended me to a friend. And being in those spaces and being slightly gobby and friendly, sorry, really helps because like you never know, someone will know someone.
Yeah.
It's always like worth talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think that's the perfect scenario too, because you wouldn't go sit by a pool really close to other people if you weren't going to be wanting to have a chat with other people. Do you know what I mean? You'd go to the, I don't know, Surrey and go to lie by a lake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like an introvert's nightmare.
Yeah, everyone welcomes the conversations, and after a glass of
Big
rosé,
time.
yeah, I'm like searching for people to talk to around here. And
No,
yeah,
no, no, 100%. And especially when people are like, especially when people have ordered a wine, they're like, "Do you want one? Should we?"
yeah,
And then it's like really friendly and really fun. And then in the mornings they have like a children's swim. So I take my goddaughter who absolutely loves it there. I mean, learning to swim in Shoreditch House is proper wanky, isn't it? But I love it.
yeah,
Everyone is so friendly, then it really opens the conversation because everyone is looking into the pool as well. So you're like laughing at how ridiculous it all is. Um, and then before you know it, you're talking about it and you're finding them a nanny.
it sounds like right up my street.
Well, you have to join. You have to come with me. I can
No.
take a guest. So,
I
yeah.
know. It's a really good excuse to get to London more often. But
Mm.
fourth question. What's one thing
Oh, yeah.
about being a founder that no one warned you about?
No days off. And that sounds like, oh, hashtag no days off, Molly May vibes. But it's actually, even when you do go on holiday or it's a weekend or whatever, like you're always thinking about your business or you're always thinking about, oh, that would make a cracking Instagram post. Or you're always, who do I need to pay? There's just, and I've got my notes, pages and pages and pages of just like things that I need to do. And there's no time where I've, in this 12 months, which is not very long, but not once have I not thought about it or done something for it. So I think, and I'm sure, I've posted on LinkedIn about this, about the struggles of not being able to relax. And everyone's like, well, you need to take time out to think about your business in a more creative way. And I do understand that importance, but I'm unable to switch off just yet. And it's all I think about when I wake up, when I go to sleep. So that would be it. I think if I knew that, I still would have started it, but and I'm definitely trying to find ways in which, exercising, but even when I'm boxing, I'm like, oh, I'm going to say that on LinkedIn, or, oh, I need to follow up that mum, or, it's always on, always, always, always. So, yeah.
Tell us the most unexpected or ridiculous thing that's happened since you launched.
Gosh, I guess I wasn't expecting it to work. I can't say that, can I?
Yeah, you can.
But like, I wasn't expecting it to work so quickly. And I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting so many really cool people to want to work with me.
Mm.
And whether that's in like the partnership side of things, so like the super cool mum clubs and the paddle clubs, like wasn't expecting that. But also like the influencers and the really cool mums that are really down to earth and they could go to any nanny agency and they've chosen daycare, and that is really, really cool. So yeah, I wasn't expecting it to work so quickly. Yeah, that's been the biggest. Like, oh my God, people
It's
want to give me
brilliant.
money. People want to pay me. Like, that's so cool. Also, shit, I've now got to find them. So anyway, yeah, it's fine.
It's amazing. And where do you see yourself and they care in 1 year's time?
Well, my dream is to cover all types of care. So that's like I want to be able to find you care for your child, and then I want to be able to find you care for a grandparent or a parent and do that whole spectrum, because I think there's a whole side of things, especially with elderly and disabled. They don't get the same access that they get with nannies, and it's not as easy and it's not as spoken about. And you're really protective of your parent or grandparent, etc., and who looks after them in the same way you are with your baby. So I'd love to be able to, in a year's time, be able to kind of cover that as well.
Mm.
And also, grow. I'd love to employ more mums, and like that, the flexibility that being a recruiter gives you. I know Becky can juggle like being a mum and being a parent, and also she can, in the nap time, interview 3 candidates. And I mean, and that's like why this is such a great career, is because you can do it in your own time. And yeah, people do want to talk at 8 p.m, not necessarily 9 to 5. And 9 to 5 is such a boring way of working, because I like to think that we're focused at different times of day, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, the dream would be to cover all care, the whole landscape. and grow
my
within 12 months. And I believe we can do it.
Yeah, we've done this in 12 months, so you can definitely do that in the next 12.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, aim high. But no, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about everything.
No,
Thank you.
cool. So nice to meet you.